Hey everybody, welcome back to another Ark Valguero Ark Valguero survival episode here. This will be episode 12. Mr. Poke Games, or just Poke if you prefer. Same as usual, but as you guys remember from last time, we kind of came back here and I kind of did a resource run. Episode was dragging on just a little bit, but I got all the resources we should need to finish our little greenhouse base here. And Isaiah and Antonio still aren't back. At least not for this one. Isaiah should be back soon and we'll have that aberration episode. But I actually got 2 new people on here today. So you guys may see them pop their head around. But let's see. I told Wolf already, but Austin, you can talk. They can't hear you. I mean, hey, you do you, man. So just like for my other ones, I'm not, at least for right now, I'm not having their audio come through just because. Not risking it. The more I have to increase my editing, the more that's, I just don't want to. So at least for now, we're going to leave it as it is. And if that's a problem, well, then that's personal. So you do you. Oh, it's all automatically done for me. So, for those that are curious, because I was just asked about it, because he asked me about thumbnails, on YouTube, if you post a video and you don't have anything specific put down, it'll automatically, I don't know exactly how their algorithm works, but it basically puts up an image or some part of your video as the thumbnail automatically. And so far, it's actually picked pretty decent stuff for my videos anyway, so I have no complaints. That happens, Okay, this is gonna get a little bit glitchy. Well, that's nice. I do not need a GPS for that right now. So what I thought about, guys, instead of using ladders, which you guys saw me using before, I'm gonna see. Okay, it's super glitchy using this on a platform. Wait, how does that look? Okay, so this is a little too big to use on this. Okay, that way it's kind of stable, but it's breaking through the top. So we will not use a spiral staircase on this. What we'll do is what I originally thought about was just using that on the house and then using ladders for this. I thought about using spiral, but that's way too big. Here, and then this, just like before. Here. I could climb that, right? Yeah, I can. Wait, can I not? Oh, I gotta do this, don't I? Yeah, yep. Okay, yeah, that's definitely wrong. Trying to make that even is going to be so annoying. It's like trying to build on platforms because my foundations are out of line is gonna make this absolutely hate everything. I will make it work though. Come on. You were almost there. Can you? This one's in the right place, and honestly, I can climb up it. It would just look so much better if I was able to. Could you just make yourself even? Is that? Okay, so it works, guys. It just does not look even. That's going to be a little bothersome. Not gonna lie. I'll figure it out later. At least for the moment, we're just gonna focus on building the other floors, and I'll try and get that settled later. This is all meant to be a matter of convenience anyway. So this is what I was thinking. We do this for the second floor. And I ended up making a lot of extra roofs because I came up with an extra idea for what we could do for the roof. Because if you guys remember from last episode, I had talked about using it for the flyers and then using... Well, what I'm thinking at the moment is putting a lot of our crafting stuff on the first level. So that would be smithy, fabricator, a few of those items just around down there. Because we're going to be using this to go underwater for next time we go down for black pearls. Because it'll help a lot to have that right up on the surface and not have to go all the way back to base, especially if we need more scuba gear, because what we learned from last time, if I try that again, I'm going to die, because I barely made it out. So making extra sets of scuba gear is kind of going to be a fundamental thing. Oh, look at that. I thought I had enough, but I needed more walls. That's fine, though. I only need 2 more. Oh, actually, no. I was considering only making this 2 levels, and I made extra, so that's fine. Because I was going to make this one a bit taller because I had another idea for this. Redwood trees are best, and you should be right near that, man. There you go. That's going to be a little uneven. You know? This is going to seem like a pointless use for this, but I want it to look even. Having an uneven foundation on this is a little bothersome, but at the same time, like I said, it's just to have the biggest platform possible for a base on top of a motorboat, so I mean, it's about as much as you could hope for. Alright, let's see. I did gather a bunch of extra supplies, though, just in case. Like, I have a lot of extra crystal on standby in case I need it. So for the greenhouse stuff, I just need 2 extra walls. And then all these extra roofs will come in handy. Because we're not going to be building up more than that. And actually, the amount of crystal that you need to make greenhouse stuff is a lot more than I expected. Just in general. Let's see. This actually isn't too bad. I mean, it's not that's so annoying that I don't have that extra in there, but there we are. And now it should be even. Oh no, that is not even. In fact, you can see the crack in the ceiling. Oh man. I know what I'll do. What I can do is I'm going to do that one more time. Grappling hooks are easy and cheap, so for those that care, it's really not that expensive of an expense just to use it to go pick up that roof there. And what I'll do is I'm going to need I might actually need all 3 ladders, so that might actually work out for the best. Wait, it's really bright. Can I'm gonna probably turn that down here in a minute. Why does it come down even for that, but it won't go down? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna badger about it too much. Can I get that to be even? Please let me climb it. Do I have to climb from the other side? Yep. And it's all wrong. And that, yep, this. Okay, so it's just this other one that's just the wrong ways, but that other one I can climb up like normal. That's. I don't know what it is. As soon as it touches the ground level, it just doesn't want to do it anymore. So I might have to leave that as is for now, guys, and if I can fix it later, then I'll make it work. But this is what I was thinking for the roof. Like, honestly, making the exterior of this is very easy. What's going to be more interesting is going to be putting all the stuff inside of it that I want. And I'm going to need to do so much more prep for that, so don't think that that's all going to happen this episode, because there's an industrial forge, and like I said, there's fabricator, and all this stuff that it's possible that I could get done this episode, but man, would it really stretch on if I tried to do it all now. You know, let me go ahead and pick these up, because they're not level with that, and that's... Oh no, oh no, oh no, yeah, and I fell. That's a problem. And that's why it's a problem if it's not even, because I can just fall off in between the cracks there. Nope, don't stop. Oh, okay. I'm so lucky I landed on that there. Could you not? I'm going to end up needing to destroy these, aren't I? Yes, I am. That's a shame. Like I said, I have a ton of extra resources. Man, you literally hear the glass breaking. That's fun. You guys are really quiet. You know you can talk, right? Oh, I know that. What do you order, Uber Eats or something? Hey, I could not. Okay, so for those listening, I eat once. Well, you cannot hear our conversation anyway, so I guess it's kind of mute. But I only eat once a day too because I'm a college student and my body's gotten used to it. So I only eat one meal a day, and then if I get, it's not sad. It's just what you get used to. It is efficient, and it's called living on a budget. It's called living on a budget. Hey, I have ramen, and also that's all. Just a little bit of, yeah, exactly. I've lived on my own for over a year, so going on 2 years. You get used to it, and honestly, you wanna? I didn't know how to cook anything when I first moved on my own. You know what the first thing I learned how to cook was? By the way, oh, actually no. The first thing I made was a quesadilla. No, it's not. It's a great snack. You get a bit of everything. You get protein, you get dairy, because if you're throwing... I think I used a cast iron skillet, and I put butter on it. Then I put the tortilla on it. Get it till it's gold brown. I heat up some chicken tenders in the microwave. I cut them up. And then I... by the way, Tyson, in case that matters to anybody. And then I cut them up, put pieces on top, and then I fold it, and I put cheese on it, and after the cheese melts, I fold it, and then I flip it, and then there you go, you got a quesadilla. Well, yeah, and I mean, like, it's a very easy thing to make. Eggs was not the first thing I learned to make, because I don't know how to make an omelet, but see, we had a cooking class, but I mean, it mostly taught us how to bake, not how to cook. So I can bake, but I'm not readily available, or not readily able to cook. Like, I'm still learning stuff, or at least trying to figure it out, because I'm a guy who lives by himself, so it's, yeah, yeah. I thought you were being like fraternizing with the enemy or some shit. I was just waiting for that to come out of your mouth. Oh, dang it, I cussed and I didn't mean to. Darn it! It's because of who I'm talking to. No, I can't. But it's going to be like a PG-13 thing. It's not like it's for kids anyway. So I said it on my YouTube channel before. Something might slip out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah. As long as I only say it once, I believe it still classifies as PG-13. So I just need to be careful. Yeah, so I believe that actually is the cinema rule, is that you can only have like one cuss word or something in there and it still be classified as PG-13. So as long as I'm careful for the rest of the recording, we should be good. Okay. No, I have no clue what that is, but okay. How many of these can I craft? I'm going to need at least, if it's 11 and I doubled it, I'm going to give myself at least 16 of these. Well, I think 18 wasn't enough to finish that, so I'll give myself 22. That's probably going to be excessive, but we're going to use as many of these as we can until it makes us stop. We're trying to make this platform as big as possible. Okay, that's too much. You can stop on carry weight. But, I mean, so do I, but I stopped at 1300, and I've been fine. Like, I can carry over 900 metal on me at once. Ah. Okay. Stop that because it's like killing my ears while I'm trying to do this at the same time. Yeah, you're good. Okay, let me word it like this. One cuss word is allowed for modern PG-13 movies. And like very mild stuff because they're trying to child-proof everything now and it's so annoying. At least to those of us that are older, it's annoying. At least to me. I could say that. At least to me it's annoying. I'm not a fan of them trying to PG-proof everything. Not every movie needs to be a Disney movie, everyone. I'm just saying. Not everything needs to be safe for kids. Are you kidding me? Kids are already ruined by the time by the age they can access the internet. So at least where I grew up, by middle school, as long as we paid the fee, we were given laptops. Any kid with a laptop can literally, even if there's school restrictions, can still Google search most things. So they're still ruined. I have cousins who were in elementary school, and I met them for the first time ever. Okay? And this was over the summer a few years ago. And they were completely ruined. And they weren't even 10 yet. And I was like, what the heck? Like, no. There's no reason in trying to censor cinema when there's 1,000 other things that are ruining them. Don't take the enjoyment out of life just because you're not getting the result that you want. I'm just saying. I mean, that's my opinion. Nobody has to agree with it. It's like the same reason schools got rid of dodgeball and everything else. It's like, it's to protect the children. Yeah, dodgeball. They got rid of sit-up test, or not the sit-up test. Sorry, they got rid of the pull-up test. A bunch of other physical things, and they got rid of them because it's to make it fair for the students. And I just think it's like, okay. So if you want to hear my personal stance on this, and anybody in the world can feel free to disagree. This is just my personal feelings on the matter. I do not agree with participation trophies. Okay, I do not agree with it because there's no competition. If there's no competition for children, there's no sense to improve. Like there's so many good things that come out that are so much more than the negatives. So for you taking away things such as dodgeball, among other things, like you're just ruining school for these children. I'll keep these as extra. Like now, this is the general layout I thought I'd have for the base, guys. I'll fly over it so you guys get a better look. But that. Wait, what'd you say? Oh, I was ranting a bit, but that's like school stuff that I felt when I was going through school. Because when I was going through school, for those that are curious, like I graduated from high school a few years ago. Like it was as everything was changing to the modern era. And what I mean when I say that is as I was going through elementary school, they had just switched from cursive and from like more calligraphy classes. It's like, oh, everything's moving to modern. You don't need this anymore, kind of thing. Well, you know what I mean, though. They used to make you write everything, but because going into middle school, it became, oh, you're starting to need to type everything. And I was part of the class that was part of the transition. Like, even for my college now, our class is part of a beta test. So it's like the world is legitimately changing as far as the systems are concerned, and I was part of that change. Oh, dude, I had to learn cursive myself in order to sign a signature and everything. Like, it was... School did not help me for that. It's like they stopped enforcing reading as well. Like they used to have like reading time a little bit when I was in high school, where it's like because so few people read and visited the library, they had mandatory time set for like 30 minutes for like my first, I think it was for my freshman or sophomore year or something like that they'd started it. And they did it for like, I'd say a semester, but for high school it was still 9 weeks. Is what they called it. It's just like for 2 9 weeks or something like that, we did it, and then they just gave up. Because all the students who did it were getting like magazines or said they were going online to read, and nobody cared. Like everything's moving into such a technological area that it's just like everyone is being babied, and everyone is just, it's not the same as it was. You can call me old-fashioned, but these are just my personal beliefs. So for anybody that disagrees, yeah, I'm old-fashioned as well. I mean, I'm young, but I'm old-fashioned in the way that I think and in the way I prefer things. Or maybe I'm just old-fashioned in the eyes of anybody born in the modern age. But I mean, I'm actually happy to discuss this with anybody that disagrees in the comments, if anybody that watches this disagrees. Because, I mean, it's baffling to me. I mean, there's good intentions besides doing things like participation awards, among other things, to an extent. It's just the negative effects the negative effects from them doing this far exceed the positives. And the reason they started it is because they thought the negatives overseeded the positives when they had it in the first place, but it really didn't. Because I know there's a point that can be made for like bullying and stuff. I mean, and bullying, whether you have it or not, have these things around or not, is going to happen. Cyberbullying is a thing now. So if you think taking one or two things out of our daily life is going to stop it, you're wrong, first off. Second off, it's just not gonna, it's not a fix. It's a band-aid over a problem that wasn't a problem in the first place that only created more problems. It's like patching a tire. You might think you're fixing it, but in reality, you could be creating much more problems. But I've ranted on this for quite a bit, so I'm going to stop now. But yeah, because that evolved quite quickly. And you guys have just both been listening for the most part. Besides Wolf, I appreciate you joining in on that a little bit. But for those that are curious as to how I feel about that, now you know. But yeah, that's my base. I flew over it for a second. It's a really big platform, so it'll be able to hold my dinos quite easily, even something as big as a Quetz, which I'll actually go ahead and move over there just so you guys can see how big it is in comparison. Because I wanted to make that as big as it was, because you guys know how big my refining forge is here. What I did on my mobile, because I basically had another mobile base when I last played Ragnarok, and that's how I thought of this, because I'd done something similar in the past, like I'd said in the video. I'm planning on putting an industrial forge up there. It's far too big to fit inside of a house, but it's fine if you just have it sitting outside, because I don't like the aesthetic of it poking through the walls. So technically I could put it inside, but I don't believe there's a whole lot of merit in it, at least not in my eyes. If you're playing on a PvP server, then obviously, because you don't want people raiding it, but on a PvE, mostly PvE server, it just doesn't matter. At least not to me. But got my dude to land on here. Does he not want to land on it? My Quetz does not want to land on here. Yeah, no, he just wants to chill. That's funny. You guys saw my Pterodon land on the base, but my Quetz does not. Granted, one neat thing you guys can do with Quetz is, in case you guys are wondering, well, how are you going to bring your Quetz with you? Well, neat little thing. Since it has a platform saddle, I can just stop it in midair. It will not drop, and I can just keep it right next to my base. Or I can just park it wherever I put it, so I mean, it's not a big deal. Doesn't matter too much either way. Or I could just cryo pot it if I really wanted to. Just put a cryo... Actually, can I place a cryo fridge in there? Let me do that. That's actually will be something I'll do on video, is I'll make a cryo fridge. Because you guys have seen me make one before. In fact, 2 are inside of my base currently. And I'll at least start finishing it. I believe I needed... What was it? It was metal... There's a few things. Cryo fridge. Crystal, right? Yeah, metal, crystal, electronics, and polymer. I'm only going to need 1 cryo fridge, but I should have plenty of polymer because I just crafted a bunch, so I have more than enough electronics, more than enough crystal, more than enough metal, and I actually need more polymer. What do I need to make more polymer? I have everything I need for more polymer. Okay, time to craft a bunch. Need more obsidian, so I'll make one of those runs, I guess, off camera. Man, you guys just got to hear me rant because of a topic on episode. That's funny. But I think most people... You said you blame MDK? I mean, even if it is Austin's fault, it's really not a big deal, just because, like, especially kids going through school now, most of them probably don't care, because being babied makes it school easier for them. Like, literally my senior year, as I was graduating with an advanced diploma, they changed it to make the requirements that much easier. Like, to get a standard in an advanced diploma now is child's play to what it used to be. So for those that are currently relishing in that, you do you. But I feel like it takes something away. At least from the students that graduated and had to go through that. And for the next generation period. So, Austin, even if it was because of you that I started ranting, it's actually something that I genuinely believe in, so I don't really care. It's not like you made me rage or something. If he made me rage, then I'd expect an apology. But for something like that, I don't care. In fact, he helped me make content, so I don't really care. That's content. May not be great content for those that disagree, but for me, it's content. I mean, it's true. Not everybody's gonna agree. And for those that don't, sorry, not sorry. For those that do, I mean, glad we're on the same boat, but not everybody's going to have the same opinion. Otherwise, the world would be boring. Okay, I'm not anti-establishment. I just don't agree with what they've been doing. That's not my stance. I know. By the way, I cannot repeat the second thing you said on video. Otherwise, I'll probably be marked. I'm so happy your audio is not playing through. And if for some reason it does come through, I am going to have to explain that. No. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Just cut that whole part out. I would have to. I'd be like, well, sorry guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the cut. Oh no. Oh no. That's not okay. That's not okay. Actually, I can at least voice that. Okay. So let me put this out there. I talked about bullying in this episode, so I'll say that. Not that, but something about it. So for those that are having a problem with bullying, whether it's in school or it's a problem like where you're dealing with where you're being picked on and you feel like the school and none of your friends are around or family are around to help you, please reach out to someone. There's always somebody to reach out to, even if you think there's not. There is. Just if a counselor won't listen to you, try talking to a close teacher. If a close teacher's not around, try a close friend. If you don't have a friend, then and there's not family. I mean, there's somebody around in your life, I bet, who you can talk to, and you can resort to. Okay, please stop. So I have a friend here who's currently talking about comments that I cannot currently share with you, but it's because it's wildly inappropriate based on the subject we're currently talking about. Yes, you are certainly that. But I mean, in general, don't resort to violence as a means of, you think, getting even or anything like that. It will not do you any favors in life or moving forward or in general, no matter how justified you think you are. There is other means to get back at people. Whether you believe in karma, believe in whatever you want, I mean, life always catches up with people, even when you don't think it will. In most cases, I can say life does. So I'm not saying just ignore your circumstance. There are ways to solve your problems besides resorting to violence. That's what my friend was talking about. So I figured I should at least address it since I talked about bullying. He's like, just resort to violence. And I'm like, no, don't do that to your school, to the person that's messing with you, anything. Because at least in my experience as a student, because I was picked on as well, there's other means of dealing with your problems that are way better off than resorting to violence. And Okay, so Avatar Aang said there's always another way, and I'll give you that, but he was not referring to bullying. He was referring just to killing. And killing and school should not be in the same sentence ever. Just putting... Exactly. You're not doing anything, that's why we call you AFK. Anyway, So, by the way, our friends' names on here that we have on the server at the moment. One's name, usually we hear me refer to him as Wolf, and the other one you'll hear me refer to probably as either Austin or as AFK. Just because his gamer tag is AFK Blood, so, there's that. Does that make you happy, Wolf? Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. You guys should have just heard this outright lie. He just said he's never AFK. This man's AFK more than any of my other friends. And I've just recently gotten back on Xbox to have to deal with this as well. So you sir, have no room to talk. But just to finish off my conversation from earlier, just so I don't have to address it again this episode, if you're dealing with bullying, there's always somebody to reach out to, whether it's a friend around or, hey, even in the comments or something, if you need to talk to somebody, there's always somebody around who can help you. There's always another way, even if you don't think there is. That's all I wanted to say. That's how I wanted to finish it off, but you kept making it drag on. Oh, wait, I'm sure, yes, you were. Can I not place a metal trap door? Wait, do I need a specific? It looks like I need a special area because it's bigger than the. What other thing do I need to place down a trap door? Do I need a secure hatches? Do I need a metal hatch thing? Hatch? Oh, I need a hatch frame. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so it's kind of like a window. Oh, that's easy, though. Okay, I'll just go make a few metal hatch frames. I was trying to figure out why this wouldn't place, and I thought it was because of that, and I broke it. No, okay, I'll just make a few more ladders. It's fine. But we'll get that done. So I guess technically I'm not done with the building because I still technically wanted to do that. But between episodes, I'll get some stuff, and next episode, you guys will see me set up my little mini water base there. I just wanted to get the exterior done this episode, so you guys can see what I was thinking, and you guys could comment on it. But this episode literally evolved based on. Thanks for that, Austin. Thanks for that. But I mean, this just completely changed from where I was thinking about going with this episode. So, oh my goodness, we went far beyond just commentary. Okay, this is not me going. Okay, I'm not commenting that at all. Seriously, you need to stop. Oh, dude, you're fine. You're not actually bothering me. I'm used to dealing with people much worse than you. You're not gonna get in trouble. They literally can't hear you. You're not gonna get in trouble. They literally can't hear you. So they're worried that at least one of my friends I'm talking to right now is currently worried he's gonna be heard. He's not gonna be heard. I mean, you guys can't hear his audio, so he's not saying anything that bad. He throws jokes out there that sometimes cross the line which YouTube would not like and most people probably wouldn't. So okay, yes, that's a way better way of wording it. It would seem distasteful for some people. I personally don't care. At least not that much. Granted, that's probably because I'm not overly sensitive, but you know. Also, there's one point to consider for both of you as well. It's for Wolf. When Wolf, by the way, has streams on Twitch. What's your Twitch username? Same. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little plug for this man since he's on the server right now. I was just going to do a little plug for him since he's on the server right now, but he's currently checking to make sure it's right. But wait, did I pick this up? Yeah, that was Isaiah's. Huh, must have killed him for it. Don't remember picking it up. It's just primitive chess piece. Anyway. Alright, so he's Wolfie Caveman is his. Okay. So Wolfie Caveman is his name. The E in the cave is switched for 3, and the 57's not that? Okay, so the Wolfie Caveman, that's his Twitch name. But he should know with his content that, I mean, like, it's you. But this is what I was going to say. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a moment because we kind of went off rails there. But, I mean, when you're making a channel or doing streaming on Twitch, you're building an audience. And if people don't like or can't stand your content, not everybody's content is going to appeal to everybody. Some people will watch it. Some people won't. I mean, if they're going to be toxic, if you're going to be toxic on a platform or on somebody's channel, then yes, I believe it's reasonable to ban them. But if you just dislike it, then you don't have to watch it. That's what I believe. So, I mean, you guys don't have to worry about leaving the party or anything, because if anybody has a problem with it, and it's in the video, then that's their problem, not yours. Oh, I did say it was a 3. The cave is a 3. That's what I said. So yeah, no, they got it right. And I just did that little plug because while you're around. Shoot, I mean, help when you can. Never hurts to help a fellow human being. What was I doing? Shoot. I made the hatch frame. I was gonna do that. I was gonna make ladders. That's what I was gonna do. I was like, what? I'm really forgetting what I was doing here. Need. Hope this works, guys. I also had another idea, but for one more exterior thing, though I want to get everything placed down first before I do it, or else the design of it might bother me. We'll see, though. I might place them down. Can I? Yeah, dude. What level is it? If you have a... it's fairly simple to make. If you make a... yeah, I was about to say, if you have the scope, then it's actually really easy to check. There we are. See, guys, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a hatch because that way this place is secure. And what I can do is make a ladder down from that. Can I make a ladder down from the hatch? Yes, I can. Ha ha ha. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of the opposite area that you'd think you'd want it, but I mean, it's perfect for... Yep, and I can start it from the ground up, so it's just... Look at that. That's perfect. That's frickin' perfect. Awesome. What I can do is I can do that, and at least that'll work for now. Like just what I do with normal pins, I'll set that offline just because my friends watch my videos and I don't want them knowing the pin. So that'll be fun. Can I? Ha! That's perfect as well. Since it's only not that high up, I can just do that. And that does mean I'll need to break this, so this will officially not be my problem anymore. And then I just got to do 7. Oh no, that was too high up. No, I can't have this happen. All right, gonna have to waste another one, but it's fine. Pick up hatch frame. Yep, okay, and doing that. Okay, let's not have my shotgun out while I'm in the middle of my house. All right. And can I place that down? And that is level enough for it not to bother me. Okay. I know having metal in here when with everything else being greenhouse might bother some people. Actually, it doesn't bother me because the actual foundation is metal. So, I mean, it's not too bothersome for me. But considering there's no greenhouse hatch frame or hatch, this is kind of what I decided to go with. And what I'll do for that last ladder... That's a shame. Hey, and look at that. It's perfect because now I just got to do that. Climb up on this. It's right up against the wall, so I have the maximum amount of space. I mean, this one's a little bit in the way, but at the same time, guys, it's really not going to be too bad. Because all I got to do is come up, do this. I'm up here. And I know at the very least I can keep RGs up here. For some reason, larger dinos, or ones with, I guess I should say with larger hitboxes and stuff, don't want to land, such as my quets. But in general, this is a pretty good area. It's pretty solid. Literally got a moving fortress. Let's see how these look. Because this is what I was talking about placing down. Okay, wow. It just kept me moving for a second, even though I didn't want to. I might place rails all along the outside here. So I didn't think I wanted to do that, but... I guess that won't be an area that I do it, just because it literally will not let me. We'll see how far along I can place this, though. I don't know why. Maybe it's on both ends. It just won't let me. In which case, that might look fine aesthetically. We'll see, though. I'll build some more. I'll finish this wall on camera. Because I thought about waiting to place the rails till I had everything down, though I just realized that... I mean, unlike when you're placing foundations, when you're placing items, most of the time, especially if they're really excessive, they'll be fine breaking through the lines. It's kind of like why stuff like the forge can go through walls and you'll see it through people's faces. It's because it's just that big. Excuse me. So, I mean, it'll be fine. I'm going to need a lot more of these rails, though, so let me go ahead to structures, get a metal. Isn't it a good thing that I did all that grinding off? Look, I can make 93. I have a lot more metal. I did a huge metal run. off camera, guys. So I'm thinking I'll be alright. That should be enough. Considering how many I already have, I'm gonna have extra, but I mean, it'll be fine. Just like you guys have seen me do before. I mean, what I don't use here, I'll probably end up using on my house, so it's not a big deal to me. I wonder what the build limit is in Ark, if it's the sky limit or if it's just... that's something to consider as well. What'd you say? Wolf, did you die? Oh, you're gonna die. Yeah, so both AFK and Wolf just started off today, so they're both getting the ball rolling here. Granted, they're starting off with Austin at least knows what he's doing. Wolf is fairly new to, or fairly rusty at Ark. I'll just use that instead because it's not like you're completely new. But oh, and I should probably mention this in the video as well, just so it's out there. Between last episode and this one, maybe it would even be before the last one I recorded. I just hadn't mentioned it yet. Antonio is going to be on hiatus for a while. So what I mean by that is, speaking of bullying, well, it wasn't really that. It was just, yeah. So like I said, there were going to be pranks on the server. So we did a prank to him off camera where we tranked him, and he got tranked twice essentially. And he made a comment before that he didn't like being tranked. But given the circumstance that we were around the Christmas tree and he just opened up a present that we'd done as a prank as well, I wish I'd recorded this. But he basically, when he went down the first time, he was alright. He just wanted to get up. But the second, Isaiah looked at me and was like, trank him before he gets up, trank him. And I was just like, what the heck? And I was like, okay, fine. And I was like, I'll try and hit him. The second shot was so lucky. It hit this man. I'll show you guys exactly where it happened, but he was jumping down the stairs. Like where you guys saw his body was from the last episode, that's where he landed. But he jumped down the stairs, and as he was falling out of view, I just literally did a hip fire of my long rifle with the trank darts in it, and it instantly knocked him out because it was a headshot. And that man dropped, and the second he got hit by it, he just rage quit off. And both Isaiah and him have a slight temper. So Isaiah didn't rage, of course not, because he wasn't the target of this time. And we're both also, me and Isaiah are well conditioned to dealing with way worse things in Ark, so I'll finish explaining. But afterwards, Antonio proceeded to immediately delete Ark. So I do not know the next time he'll be back on here. He really wasn't that integral to our process, considering I was walking through and handing him stuff since he was brand new and trying to teach him stuff. I'll still tell you guys how to do stuff, because I was basically, just so the people I'm talking to right now currently understand, in my videos when I was doing stuff, I'd be explaining what I was doing and what exactly I was making and why I was making it, because that way both Antonio and people watching would know what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I'll probably still end up doing that to some extent, but probably not to the same degree, since it's not like this isn't an Ark tutorial, it's an Ark playthrough. So, or playthrough to some extent, but I mean, this isn't a tutorial series, let me word it like that. So I'm not going to be explaining literally everything that I do, but I'll walk you guys through all the major things. Especially when it comes to the more complicated stuff that I don't even understand, which is breeding and the botany in this game at the moment. So, I mean, for those who don't know what botany is just basically anything to do with gardening and with plants and all of that. So I'm less familiar with that when it comes to Ark. I'm more familiar. It is a science. Botany is a science. For those that care. Because some people may not, and some people may not even care whether or not I mentioned it or didn't. But, you know, now you know. Where was I going with that? I'm literally being split apart by two different conversations here. Dude, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's just I have to retrace my steps. But after Antonio left, I mean, his body was here, but I'll at least explain the circumstance. So we were up here. I had a present named with a joke. I'm not going to say what the joke was because it's not right to reveal private information, but it was a joke. It did cross a line to some extent, but not enough to where it would have warranted him getting off the game. Maybe shooting me, but not getting off the game. And by the way, he could have tranked me. He could have tranked Isaiah. He just didn't. And he's like, I don't play like that. And I'm like, well, you know, on a PvP server, when you're playing with your friends, it's going to happen. And for those that, I mean, basically, I tranked him when he was looking at the present right here. And then as he looked to jump downstairs and he was falling, I was standing over in the corner by the cryo fridge and I shot him. And yeah, somehow, some way, my long rifle shot hit him in the head and he just dropped. I fed him stem berries to get him up, but that man didn't care either way. He deleted Ark, so I don't know when he'll be back on. I just figured I should mention it because he's not integral to the series, but he is a friend and he was on, so I figured I'd at least explain it if you guys don't see him either for the rest of the series or at least for the next several episodes. So, I mean, the chance of him getting back online is very low. That man will probably be on Destiny. And we're still friends. We're still good. He just doesn't like Ark. So, like, he wasn't a fan of it when we started the series, so it's not like there's any bad blood for anybody curious. It was all done as a joke. We're good. We've talked since then. It's literally not a problem. He just doesn't like that happened, and he doesn't like Ark, so that was just the trigger for him to delete it. So, wasn't any bigger than that, but because he was part of the content of the series, I figured I should at least mention it. And me and Isaiah will be continuing as, you know, normal, because like I said, the only thing that he really did on this server in his free time was tame dinos. And I've left his dinos alone. And I've left his stuff alone. Although I'm pretty sure that Wolf and AFK raided his body at least. Which wasn't a problem because he's probably never getting on. He literally told me to take all of his stuff though. I'm not planning on messing with his dinos, though if he's not on within like the next 5-6 episodes or by the time we start bosses, I might at least use his Rexes because he has a really good... Well, actually, I was taking care of his dinos for him. Never mind, I was feeding them all and doing all that because he just tamed them. He didn't really mess with them at all afterwards. But, I mean... Optimus Prime's probably the only one that'd be worth using because it's a 234 Tech Rex that can still level up. So, I mean... Anyway. Went on a bit of a tangent there. But I figured I should explain that, at least since you don't see his body downstairs anymore, because his body was kind of looted and also destroyed so that I can get some extra meat. Not that I didn't have plenty, because as you guys can see in the grill, and as you guys can know that's in my fridge, I have plenty. It was just because, you know, it was in the way. This makes me sound like such a cool person, but I mean, I mean, for those that are curious, I mean, in Ark, it's so much harder to survive than any prank you could pull on your friends. Like, I've told you guys before, pranks are fine as long as they don't set you back. If I'm knocking you out with narcotics and you consider that too far, if I've done it more than 5 times or I'm doing it excessively for over like a half hour, okay. I understand the rage at that point or why you may be upset. I was doing it to Antonio for less than 5 minutes and that man was gone. Like, he was literally up in 30 to 45 seconds after the first time. And he wasn't even down for a minute the second time, and then he was off. And every time we did it to him, it was like that. So, I mean, he'd made a comment before about him not being okay with being tranked, but it's going to happen. And there's plenty of things that will do it to you. I mean, I showed you guys down when I was in Aberration, there's literally smoke down there that chokes you. And he obviously can die from dinos, and he literally hadn't done anything that was even related, even close to difficult on this yet, so... If you're somebody who cannot tank dying and cannot tank Prakes and Ark, I'm sorry, you would not be able to handle harder servers. Aberration and Extinction and probably Genesis, because I haven't played Genesis Part 1, so I actually don't know, but I'm sure it has something similar to Aberration as far as difficulty is concerned. Like, you cannot handle harder maps if you cannot handle being knocked out. I'm sorry, because you're going to die, you're going to lose your stuff. I mean, it's going to happen. Whether you're playing on official or whether you're doing something like I am on a dedicated, I mean, it's going to happen. So, I mean, oh well. But once again, went on a bit of a tangent, but that kind of explains everything up to this point. So at least so it's clear for future episodes as well. What level is your Packy? That's why he's over 200. If a dino's over 200, they can survive most things. Just because... That's why. That's a lot of health. Or sorry, 2200 is a lot for starting health. You obviously want to make it higher, but... I keep increasing this dude's movement speed. Where is he at right now? That's not too bad. A Megalodon having 128% movement speed. That's not too bad. By the way, Antonio was absolutely terrified of this dude. He was afraid of underwater, so especially when it came to the underwater stuff, he would not have been a fan. Just like me with the brood mother, not a fan of spiders or even big spiders, so that thing's gonna be the bane of my existence to some extent. But where am I going with this? I finished that. Did I have anything else? I know, like, it sounds like I'm a little out of it just because I went on so many tangents during this episode. I don't know what it is. Every time I play with Austin, I just end up talking a lot about different things. Don't know what it is, or if it even did he go AFK again? You hear me, Austin? Are you there? Austin, you know you can talk, right? You don't have to mute yourself. I've told you before, nobody can hear what you say and it's not going to bother anybody. Yeah, probably. That's why we call him AFK. His name's not actually AFK, but we call him AFK because of how often he's gone. Like, this man will disappear for like 20, 30, 45 minutes and then come back for like 20 minutes and then disappear again. So we call him AFK. Like, because this man just disappears. Like, I don't care what time of day it is. This man just disappears. So. Oh, well, though. Actually, just so you guys can see, because I said I'd do it. Let's see how this thing drives. The reason I made this out of greenhouse stuff, even though it's not the strongest, as I've talked about, because, you know, I believe metal has 10,000 durability apiece. I can check beneath. Yep, 10,000 for a metal wrap. So yeah, 10,000. Greenhouse stuff only has 2,000. But just so there's some context, I can see through the house. Like, I can move around pretty easily, even though this is a full base. Even when I have stuff inside it as well, I'm sure I'll be fine because, like I said, I've done this before. And look at this. I'm literally moving a whole house on wheels. That's essentially what this is. It's like having an on-water RV for ARK. And it's pretty creative. I can do something similar on platform saddles. So I guess I could do it for my quets or something. Not that I'm really interested in doing it, but for having an on-water base that you can use to go for underwater supply drops and stuff, which, by the way, for supply drops and stuff, I mean, or for black pearls again, because like I said, we're going to need more of those. Even though I haven't used all of mine now, I just know I'm going to need more in the future, because black pearls are actually used for tech stuff and for things down the line. And I'll explain that in a bit later, because I won't be working for tech stuff for quite a while. That'll be a later episode. Plus, we'll need to have beaten some bosses first. So, but thank you guys for joining me for this episode. I'm actually going to end it here. I know it's a bit earlier because most of my episodes end up running over an hour on accident. I just wanted to finish building this episode. I'll grab the stuff to fill at least most of it. There's probably more that I'll think about while I'm on camera and actually doing it that I'm not thinking about right now. But I mean, at least getting, you know, the cryo fridge powered and getting some essential stuff done. Hope you guys didn't mind all the discussion and everything like that. Or, you know, if you'd like discussions to happen while I'm playing ARK and for there to be more conversation, then I could definitely do that, rather than just commentary and explaining what I'm doing. I mean, don't have a problem with it. Just let me know what you'd like me to talk about. I'm willing to talk about most things, just, you know, excluding politics and some other items that would get me marked on YouTube. So keep that in mind if you're asking me about it, because I'm not going to answer. It's just better to keep away from those subjects. Not just for me, but pretty much any other YouTuber or streamer. Like, it's just smart not to. So for anybody that wants to ask, I mean, you can. I'm just not going to talk about it. So, I mean, hope you guys enjoy the episode. And as soon as I get up here next to my bird here, I was up there a second ago, but I fell off. I'll go ahead and end it. Don't you guys see how convenient this is, being able to just be up at the top here within just a few seconds? But there we are. Let's go ahead and end it off here. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.